Hi everyone, we're gonna get started making the marble fidget toy. So first we need a crochet hook. I'm using 5.00 millimeters, scissors, a yarn needle, a marble, and your yarn. We're gonna start out by making a slip knot. So we're going to wrap the yarn around our finger twice. And then we're going to move the left over the right and then left over the right one more time and grab that final piece and pull on the short string. We can insert our needle and pull on the working yarn. Now we're just going to chain 15. We do that by yarning over and pulling through the loop on our hook, and we do that 15 times. So here I have 15 chains, and next we're just going to half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So I'm going to count for you guys. 1, 2, 3. That's where we're going to insert our needle whenever we do the half double crochet. So yarn over, put your hook into the third chain from the hook, yarn over, and then pull through all 3 loops. We're just going to half double crochet in each chain across, and we will end with 13 half double crochets. So here I'm just finishing up the half double crochets for the first row. So this is what your first row should look like. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. For row 2, we will be doing a single crochet in the first stitch. And then we're going to do a front post single crochet. So we'll go around the front post of the row that we just did. Single crochet. And then we're going to do a back post single crochet. So we'll go around the back side of the row that we just did and around that post. And we'll do another front post single crochet and a back post single crochet. We will continue doing this across the entire row until you get to your very last stitch. In your very last stitch, you are going to place a regular single crochet. So here, I'm just showing you where to place that last single crochet. Next, we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. And we are going to half double crochet across the entire row. Here, I'm just showing you where to place your last half double crochet. we will chain one and turn our work. For this row, we're going to single crochet in the first stitch, and then we will back post single crochet in the very next stitch. And then we will front post single crochet, and we'll do another back post single crochet. And we'll repeat this pattern all the way across until you get to your very last stitch. You'll do a regular single crochet. Then you'll chain two and turn your work. For this row, you'll just half double crochet the entire way across. You will chain one and turn your work. To start out, for this row, we'll do a regular single crochet in that first stitch, and we'll do a front post single crochet, and then a back post single crochet. We'll do another front post single crochet and a back post single crochet. We'll continue this pattern all the way across until you get to your final stitch. You'll put a regular single crochet in that last stitch. You'll just chain two and turn your work. Across this row, we'll do all half double crochets. We'll chain one and turn our work. We'll place a regular single crochet in that first stitch. And then we'll do a back post single crochet in the next stitch. We'll do a front post single crochet, and then we'll do another back post single crochet. We'll continue that pattern all the way across until you get to the very last stitch. You'll do a regular single crochet. Chain two and turn your work. From here, you'll just repeat rows 2 through 5 until you have 13 rows. You'll end on a half double crochet row where we will chain one and turn our work. And we're going to do one final row. We're going to single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to do a front post single crochet. We'll do a back post single crochet, we'll do a front post single crochet. We will continue that pattern all the way across until we get to the very final stitch, where we will place a regular single crochet. So this is what your work should look like. And from here, we'll just pull the yarn hook out. We will leave a very long tail, probably 12 to 18 inches. We'll cut our yarn. And then we will just use our hook to pull that yarn tail through that loop, and we'll give a nice tug. That is called fastening off, so that our yarn does not unravel. From here, we will fold our work in half, and then we will sew along the 3 edges. So we'll need our yarn needle, and I'm going to show you how I like to thread my needle. I like to wrap the yarn around the needle, pinch it between my fingers, and then kind of shimmy the yarn into the hole. And you should be able to pull it through fairly easily. So now I'm just going to fold it in half again, and I'm going to sew along this top edge right here. You could do this any way that you would like. It really doesn't matter, but this is just the way that I'm going to do it. Once you're done with that, you can see that it's not going to open. I place the needle through where the yarn currently is and to the other side and pull all of the yarn through. Now I'm just going to sew up this long edge right here using the same technique. So here I'm just finishing up that long edge, and then before we sew up that final edge, we have a tube, and I'm just going to be lazy. Instead of sewing my ends in, I'm just going to tuck that end into the toy itself. So now we can put our marble into our tube, and we can sew up that final edge. And once again, I don't want to have to sew my ends in, so I'm going to kind of puff the toy out a little bit. You're going to insert your needle where the yarn currently is, through the middle of the toy, a couple of inches, and then we'll pull the yarn all the way through. We can cut that yarn. Give it a little pull, that end should disappear, and there you have it. You have a marble fidget toy. Alright, next we are going to be making a mobius strip toy. So this is essentially a never-ending loop that you can always pull through the middle and play with. So we have our yarn and crochet hook. Our first step is going to be to create our slip knot. So once again, we're just going to wrap it around our finger twice. We're going to put the left strand over the right strand, and we're going to do the left strand over the right strand again, and grab that final piece of yarn and pull on the short strand. Now we can put that loop on our hook, and we're going to chain 16. So we'll yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook, and we'll do that 16 times. Now we are just going to single crochet in each chain across. We do that by inserting our hook into the second chain from the hook. I typically like to insert my hook into the back of the chain. So in the back, we will insert our hook into that second loop. And then we'll yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. And we will just continue that pattern all the way down the rest of the chain. So here I'm just finishing up those last couple of single crochets at the end of the chain. So this is what your work should look like. So now we want to join the two ends together, but we want to twist the one end so that when we join them, we're joining to the bottom of the row that we just created. If we did not twist the one end, we would just create a tube throughout the rest of the project. So here I'm just showing you where to insert your hook. You're going to insert it into that first chain space that you created previously, and you're going to do a single crochet. So here I'm going to yarn over, pull through that first stitch, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. Now we are going to do what's called an increase stitch. So we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So here I'm doing the first single crochet, and I'm going to go back into that same stitch that we just were in and do another single crochet. And then I'll do 1 single crochet in the next stitch after that. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets in that stitch. And this is just the pattern that we are going to repeat pretty much until we either run out of yarn or just feel like stopping. So here I am just repeating the single crochet in one stitch and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So here we're coming up on the very tail end of where we had joined the ends together previously. So I'm going to put a single crochet there, and I'm going to show you where to insert your hook to continue going. So here you can see the V-stitch. That's where we're going to insert our hook to continue within the round. I'm just going to crochet over that tail as well so that I don't have to weave it in at the very end. It just saves a little bit of time and is a little trick that you can do. So from here, I'm going to continue the pattern of crochet or single crochet in one stitch, and then in the next stitch do 2 single crochet. So as I said previously, you will just continue that single crochet one stitch and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch until either you feel like stopping or run out of yarn. So here I am just showing you what my Mobius strip toy now looks like, and I'm going to show you how to finish this project. So I had already cut my yarn to leave a fairly long tail. So now I'm going to do a couple of slip stitches. So I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on your hook. And we'll just do that a couple times to make it a little flatter before we end. So now I'm going to yarn over and pull that tail through and just continue pulling through. And that creates a knot so that your work doesn't fall apart. So now we are going to weave in the ends. We do this by taking our yarn needle, and I'll show you how I like to thread my needle. So wrap the yarn around the needle and pinch it between your fingers, and then you can wiggle that between the eye and get the yarn through fairly easily. So what I like to do whenever I'm weaving in my ends is get my yarn down to the previous row that we worked on, and then we're just going to put it through the loops of that row. And we're also going to ensure that we don't see our needle on the back before we pull everything through. So here I'm just showing you that you can't see the needle on the back side. So we're just going to pull all of that yarn through. Now to ensure that this toy does not fall apart, we want to make sure we weave in on our ends properly. So I'm just going to keep going in this direction, and then I will change directions here so that the yarn is going in 2 different directions and it's less likely to come unraveled. So now that you have finished with that, I'm just going to cut my yarn. And there you have it. You have a Mobius strip toy. Here I'm just going to show you the one from the beginning and show you what the difference between the two are. So for this green one, I just single crocheted in 2 stitches across, and in the third stitch I did 2 single crochets, and then in the next 2 stitches a single crochet, and in the third stitch 2 single crochets. So this toy is very customizable, and you can do it to your preference. And then once again, I'm showing you the marble toy that we made earlier. Thank you so much for watching.